Starting from today, we begin our new series Out of the White Tower, in which we travel to the Solomon Islands, located on the South Pacific. As the country lacks adequate medical resources, Taiwan, one of its diplomatic allies, has sent medical staff from the Kaohsiung Medical University Hospital to conduct regular free clinics in this country.
我郑重地保证自己要奉献一切为人类服务。我将要凭我的良心和尊严从事医业。病人的健康因为我被首要的顾念。我将要尊重所托予我的命令。我将要尽我的力量为医业的荣誉及高尚的传
统。To live up to their promise given in their school years, this group of medical staff flew from Taiwan to hold 2 weeks of free clinics in the Solomon Islands. The nation of Solomon Islands is located in the South Pacific and is made up of a collection of more than 990 islands with a total area of 28,000 square kilometers. The country is divided into 9 different provinces, with its capital being Honiara, and it is one of Taiwan's diplomatic allies in the South Pacific.
The nation of Solomon Islands and Taiwan established diplomatic relations approximately 29 years ago. Over the years, Taiwan has sent many skillful workers to help, and one of their missions has been to improve medical care on the island. In 2009, Taiwan established a medical center in Solomon Islands. Since then, medical staff from Kaohsiung Medical University Hospital have traveled to the island to hold free clinics on a regular basis.
I want to understand the medical environment in different areas. Maybe it will broaden my view.
As soon as they get off from the plane, Taiwan's medical team immediately put their bags into sorted medicine and equipment. Among the team are nurses Wang Caifan and Yan Shanzhen, whom hope to rediscover the responsibility and nature of nursing.
In Taiwan, I am always busy and felt tired of my job, so I thought this was a good chance for me to rediscover the meaning of nursing.
Working as a nurse is a lot of hard work, as we need to deal with patients and the administration. The purpose of this trip to Solomon Islands is to help the local residents. I want to broaden my horizons, and this is a very meaningful way to do so.
These are posters we came up with over the years. The main purpose is to prevent parasites and educate the public on the roots of infections.
Since Taiwan established diplomatic relations with Solomon Islands, holding free clinics, health education, and medical training are on the top of its list. With residents scattered throughout the different islands, limited transportation has put a brake on the country's medical development.
Some of the islands have 1,000 to 2,000 residents, while some may only have 2 to 3 households. That's why their medical services are so underdeveloped.
Due to inconveniences in transportation, lack of resources and medical staff, some outlying islands of the Solomon Islands have no access to basic medical resources. However, this situation is not only seen in the Solomon Islands. According to World Health Organization, there are 57 countries around the globe that are in serious need of medical personnel, with a total lack of 4 million medical staff. In fact, Taiwan has enough medical resources and good medical training programs in place. However, due to governmental policies, the country is also short of medical personnel. It is clear that this problem needs to be taken into serious consideration for both developed and underdeveloped countries. The Solomon Islands is made up of a collection of more than 990 islands, yet the country's medical resources are all centered around the capital of Honiara. Today, we follow Taiwanese doctors on their journey to the outlying islands to discover how difficult it is for residents living there to get access to medical care. How hard it is to get medication. Today, we follow Taiwanese doctors as they travel from the city center of the Solomon Islands to its outlying islands. We want to know how hard it is for the residents there to get access to medical care. In the Solomon Islands, flight delays are very common. The country is made up of a collection of islands, but all the medical resources first must pass through the city of Honiara.
Most of the outlying islands don't have much access to medicine because everything has to go through the country's Department of Health before it is distributed to the islands.
This time we are visiting the western province in the villages of Sege and Arara located in the south. Since the domestic airport of the Solomon Islands is tiny, all the equipment, luggage, and even people have to be weighted. As you can imagine, this means that the amount of medication that can be distributed to the outlying islands is small.
Welcome aboard. 1 hour to Sege. Make sure you fasten the seatbelt. Life jacket under the seat. 6 doors, 2 at the back, 2 here and 2 front. No smoking, no smoking.
Through the window, we can see the beauty of the Solomon Islands. However, after our arrival at Sege, our adventures has just begun.
The outlying islands lack resources. If we take a closer look, you can see that they don't even have a proper runway for the aircraft to land on. It is not easy to transport medical resources from Honiara to the outlying islands. To bring medical resources to these islands, after an hour flight, we then need to take a 40-minute boat ride.
There was once when the engine failed while we were on our way to the village, and we had to wait on the boat until they fixed it.
It is no coincidence that the Taiwanese doctors often encounter boat problems, as during the 40-minute boat ride, passengers often encounter strong waves. Forests that are filled with mangroves, and even heavy rain.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
The sun has already set when our boat arrives on shore. However, our journey doesn't stop here.
Who wants to sit at the front?
I am so proud of myself. Now we have to take a truck to get to the village.
Without pavement and lights, all we see above our heads are bats that have come out to hunt for food. For many first-timers to the island, it is a journey full of high adventure. However, in reality, it is a pity that this is the only way the residents of the outlying island can get access to medical care. The Solomon Islands is a country made up of a collection of islands. However, only the bigger islands have clinics. As the country's medical resources are limited, patients are often left with no access to medical care. To help, Taiwan's medical team visits the outlying islands on a regular basis to hold free clinics. There, doctors find one of the most common problems are fungal infections. On the outlying islands of the Solomon Islands, one sees the absence of modern facilities and cars. In this village, the only building that connects the villagers to the outside world is this little clinic.
On this island, the only place residents can get medical care is this clinic. If we take a closer look at this post on the wall, it says that pregnant women are not allowed to give birth here because this place lacks qualified medical equipment. As you can imagine, with its limited medical resources, this clinic cannot safeguard the health of local residents.
Walking inside the clinic, one sees an absence of any medical equipment. In fact, Nurse Aubrey is the only person on site. Since there's no doctor on this outlying island, he has to fill the role of both nurse and doctor.
Most of the outlying islands have clinics to take care of basic medical problems. However, most of the clinics are only staffed by one medical personnel who needs to take care of the health of all the local residents.
As the outlying island lack medical resources, Taiwan's medical team will hold regular free clinics that offer services from internal medicines to pediatrics. In this country, a small health problem is often considered as a big problem. This several-month-old baby is already suffering from fungal infections on her arm.
The baby scratching. Okay.
Fungal infections are mostly seen around the joints and armpits because children have weak immune systems, especially babies. We will ask their parents if their child has a fever or not, because newborns get blood infections easily.
The most common fungal infections on the skin are candidiasis and aspergillosis. Without regular cleaning of the body, when molds fall on the skin, hyphae will grow and destroy the skin's protective layers, causing itchiness and peeling. For children with weak immune systems, fungal infection may invade the blood vessels that can lead to bacteremia, which has a high mortality rate.
Fungal infections are very common in this country because the weather is very humid. They can prevent the infections from happening, but it is better if they keep their living environments clean.
In this country, people's incomes are low, and with limited resources, a pair of shoes is hard to come by. To prevent the invasion of insects and snakes, local residents live in still houses. Inside, there's a living room, a bedroom, and a kitchen. However, there's no bathroom. Since the weather is very humid and lacking proper bathing habits, children can often be seen wearing clothes that are covered with mold. In Solomon Islands, instead of seeing diseases of affluence, which are commonly seen throughout many developed and developing countries, residents here instead face basic health problems that are associated to their primitive living environment.
In the Solomon Islands, as the outlying islands lack medical resources, many villagers have never seen a doctor in their lives and therefore have immense respect for the Taiwanese doctors that have come from abroad to safeguard their health. In today's feature report on the Solomon Islands, we investigate the doctor and patient relationships that exist in both Taiwan and the Solomon Islands.
What makes a good doctor?
A good doctor should be one that can provide us with detailed information about our sickness.
A good doctor should provide his or her patients with love and care, so patients are more willing to tell them about their health problems.
Both answers outline the duties of a good doctor. However, if we take the same question and ask a villager living on the Solomon Islands, this is the answer we get.
What doctor you think this is a very good doctor?
Okay. Doctor, you mean what?
Since many locals have never seen a doctor in their lives, the word doctor is unfamiliar to them. It is a rare chance being seen by a doctor, and thus everyone sees the opportunity to attend the free clinic.
By me, step aside. I feel that you check me good. Yeah? You so happy with us, with me, yes? Although I get disabled, but you very helpful.
All of you are good. All of the nurse doctors already come here. They give good treatments.
Very good. Number one, you came here to help us. Very good.
When speaking of the Taiwanese doctors, the villagers only have words of thanks. And for many of the doctors, the relationship they enjoy with the patients here has been an important reminder.
40 years ago in Taiwan, doctors were highly respected and trusted by the public. And in the Solomon Islands, this is the relationship we still see today.
Yang Wenqi is the doctor in charge of the Division of Hematology and Oncology at the Kaohsiung Medical University Hospital. She says throughout the years, there were several patients that deeply touched her heart.
I had a patient that asked his daughter to give me a gift when he passed away. The gift was not expensive, just a little thing, but it touched my heart. It made me feel that all the time and effort I put into caring for him was worth it.
However, when thinking about the current doctor-patient relationship in Taiwan, Dr. Yang gives a deep sigh.
Currently, the situation in Taiwan is troublesome because under the influence of media, patients will think that doctors only want to make money and not truly help them.
In Taiwan, according to the Department of Health, medical dispute cases have gone from 100 cases per year to more than 500, with the departments of surgery, internal medicine, and gynecology being the top 3. One can say that the public are much more aware of their rights. However, it is clear that the doctor-patient relationship in Taiwan has worsened.
If the doctor-patient relationship in Taiwan can change for the better, doctors won't have to worry about being sued and will put even more effort in providing their patients with the best medical service.
In traveling from Taiwan to the Solomon Islands, the trust and respect these Taiwanese doctors have received from the villagers have strengthened their determination to relieve more patients from sickness. Through comparing the doctor-patient relationship between the two countries, we should think what we can do to achieve a balance between trust and rights.
In the next of our series of reports on Out of the White Tower, we investigate a serious issue that is not only plaguing the Solomon Islands, but many other developing countries as well. According to a 2006 report by the WHO, with globalization, many doctors and nurses in developing countries are leaving their home to pursue better working conditions and higher pay. How to reverse this trend and find a balance in healthcare resources worldwide is a problem that will become ever more urgent in the years ahead. Here's more.
At 8 in the morning, pediatrician Carol is already making her rounds. Checking in on her patients is the first thing that Carol does each morning, as there is a shortage of staff members at the hospital. In addition to checking in on recovering patients and seeing new patients, Carol also has to handle much of the hospital's administrative work.
We cannot just get off work. You have to finish it because it's always busy. So sometimes we go past our time to go home.
Although it may seem otherwise, the hospital that Carol works for is the Solomon's biggest and best funded.
This is the Solomon Islands' biggest hospital, the National Referral Hospital. It was built in 1989 with the support of Taiwan. After its completion, it became the hospital to which all serious cases from clinics around the country are referred.
Although it is the nation's biggest, the hospital still suffers from a chronic lack of trained personnel and equipment. And for those doctors that do work there, their salary is low.
The amount that doctors make here is really low. Their monthly salary is only around 8,000 Solomon dollars, which when compared to the cost of living is not a lot at all.
Solomon dollars is about 1,128 US dollars. In addition to the low wages, currently there are no medical school in the nation that trains doctors. To become a doctor, students have to study overseas, usually in either Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, or Papua New Guinea. Often these doctors, once they finish with their studies, decide to remain abroad to live and work.
Their salary is really low and their working hours are long, so often doctors opt to stay abroad where they receive a higher salary.
Those hospitals are paying better salaries, that's why they left. We have more than 50 doctors working outside.
Medical personnel moving abroad in search of higher salaries is a trend that was warned by the WHO as early on as 2006. As globalization makes the world smaller, developed countries are becoming favorite locations for medical staff. Thus, the underdeveloped countries are losing their talents.
The only option available to us would be to recruit people from outside, to recruit doctors. But I don't think we have the ability or we have the capacity to do that.
Unable to change the present situation, outside medical aid currently remains a vital lifeline for Solomon Islands. But this is only a short-term solution. How to keep medical personnel in the Solomon Islands is a question that must be answered for the sake of the future health of the nation's citizens.
According to WHO, there are 57 countries around the globe that are in serious need of medical personnel, with a total shortage of 4 million medical staff. One of the reasons is that many medical staff tend to leave their country to pursue a better work environment and higher salary. Today, in our series of feature reports on Out of the White Tower, we learn why Dr. Patrick Ho'asia is determined to stay in the Solomon Islands to help his people.
Good morning. Good morning.
Early in the morning, everyone is ready to start their busy day. Cleaning medical equipment and checking medications, the medical staff here at the National Referral Hospital is getting ready for an international surgery.
Right now, I am wearing a surgical gown because very soon a knee replacement surgery will be performed by Taiwanese doctors and doctors from the Solomon Islands.
1, 2, 3, go.
We want to teach local doctors on how to perform a knee replacement surgery and how to prepare for any surgery. For example, they need to know what they should do before a surgery and what their roles are during a surgery.
As the Solomon Islands suffers from a shortage of qualified medical equipment and medical personnel, simple surgeries such as a knee replacement surgery had never been performed before in this country. Standing next to a Taiwanese doctor is Patrick Ho'asia, who visited Taiwan a few months ago to learn from the doctors there. He hopes through collaboration with Taiwanese doctors, he can gain new knowledge, thus benefiting his people.
It's a good job to help people, really. But particularly doing orthopedic surgery is something that I thought that the area is neglected here. And so I thought someone need to take it up, and I find a lot of interest in it as well. So.
With the determination to help those in need, after graduating from medical school in Fiji, Patrick Ho'asia traveled to Australia, where he received intensive medical training. Unlike many doctors that want to pursue better lives in developed countries, Patrick Ho'asia decided to return to the Solomon Islands to help his people.
We are not too many in terms of the number of the population. You can see this ward. It's the bed that limits what should come in, and since I'm the only orthopedic surgeon here, the work is so overwhelming.
With his experiences from study abroad, Hao-Asia knows how much his country needs better medical care. Upon returning to the Solomon Islands, Patrick has become the most important orthopedic surgeon in the country. In fact, with his qualifications, he could pursue a better life in almost any country in the world. However, he insists on staying.
I think I can make more money outside, but what keeps me here is the people. And I have a lot to do, and when you see someone recovering from an injury, you feel better about it. At least they are here, they will see you tomorrow.
Despite the hard work and low wages, Hao-Asia has never surrendered, as he believes that one day the healthcare situation in the Solomon Islands will change for the better. Now, as the first ever knee replacement surgery in the Solomon Islands successfully comes to an end, Patrick sees a ray of hope.
This week has gone down in the history of this department and this hospital and I think this country. It's history in the making. Oh, that's great.
In our past series of featured reports out of the White Tower, we explored a series of healthcare problems in the Solomon Islands. Over there, Taiwan's medical team often faces different obstacles and hardships while providing medical services to the Solomon Islanders. In today's featured report, we look into the changes of these Taiwanese doctors after volunteering their time in this island country.
People in Taiwan are actually very fortunate.
Chen Yixuan is a pediatrician from Taiwan. After traveling to the Solomon Islands with Taiwan's medical team, she realized that this country is in serious need of medical care. To help, she decided to put her job aside and volunteer for 3 months in the underdeveloped country.
I believe that most of the doctors in Taiwan would be willing to travel to another country and provide medical assistance to those in greater need.
Recently, due to the healthcare environment in Taiwan, many medical personnel say that they have started to feel less passionate about their job. However, after traveling to the Solomon Islands, many rediscovered their love for the profession. Pediatrician Chen Yixuan says her time here has changed her life completely.
We have so many things in our lives, but most of us still complain about the things we don't have. When I go back to Taiwan, I will definitely live a happier life because I know there are many people in the world that are less fortunate than me.
I feel encouraged when I know that with a little of my care, I can make a difference in a person's life.
Wang Caifan has been working in the field of nursing for more than 20 years. She says she comes from an era where everyone was willing to endure any hardship.
In the past, senior nurses would pass on the spirit of the Florence Nightingale to us, and we kept it in mind that it is our job to help our patients. We never complained about anything, but the children nowadays are different.
With changes in Taiwan society, children have lower resistance to stress.
With Taiwan's low birth rate, parents tend to overprotect their kids, so children nowadays have a low resistance to stress.
The healthcare industry is not easy, and it tends to forget the process of personal training. The children these days don't understand that the healthcare industry is based on responsibility. In this industry, there are no regular working hours.
Due to the changes in the healthcare environment and values, less of the young generations are willing to enter the healthcare field. Meanwhile, senior medical staff have to take on more duties, which slowly erodes their passion for their job. Luckily, after stepping aside from all the administration work, these medical personnel can once again rediscover their original love for their job.
There's no other industry other than healthcare that can safeguard the health of people. I have never regretted my decision to become a nurse.
With a better healthcare environment, senior medical staff can reignite their passion about nursing, and through humanistic education and an understanding of the nature of medical industry, the spirit of Florence Nightingale and Albert Schweitzer can be passed on to future generations. Since Taiwan and the Solomon Islands established diplomatic relations 29 years ago, the government of Taiwan has been providing various types of assistance to this country, from medical care to agriculture techniques. And to improve the country's self-sufficiency food rate, Taiwan's technical teams have established a plan to educate locals on how to grow better crops and vegetables. The nation of the Solomon Islands, a country with fertile lands that is perfect for growing any agriculture product. Unfortunately, with a lack of basic farming equipment, the country's agricultural development has been limited. In the eyes of Taiwan Technical Mission team leader Mo Guozhong, something must be done to help. 2 years ago, Mo Guozhong and his technical team from Taiwan established a plan to educate locals on how to grow guavas, pitaya,
and this side, development fruits.
And there is a surprise.
Can anyone guess what this is? This looks like a pumpkin, right? But it is actually a papaya grown by Taiwan's Technical Mission team in the Solomon Islands. Behind me are all papaya trees.
As local residents lack nutrients, our plan is to teach them how to grow papaya, pitaya, and guava. We hope to help them adopt a more balanced diet.
Eating fruits and vegetables are good for our health. However, one may wonder how to grow such a big papaya.
The Solomon Islands is the perfect place to grow Taiwan's red papaya, because the weather throughout the year is very stable with lots of sunshine and sufficient amount of rain.
Other than the perfect growing environment, it is also important to learn about the structure of a papaya. First, the fertilizer should be added around the outside of the papaya to avoid damaging the fragile roots.
Okay. Yes, you saw me now.
Taiwan, their papaya is bigger than my papaya.
That is way. Push go inside.
In the past, sweet potato and cassava were the main staples in the diet here. However, with changes in eating habits, rice has become the staple food.
It is estimated that each day a Solomon Islander will consume 1 kilogram of rice. They eat a lot of rice.
In fact, 90% of the rice eaten by the locals is imported. And to increase the country's self-sufficiency rate, Taiwan's Technical Mission teams have started a rice production training program.
The most important task is for people to grow enough food to supply their own communities or villages.
After I learn this one, I go back to my home. I'll try to grow rice and teach my own village how to grow rice.
With help from Taiwan's Technical Mission teams, the country's self-sufficiency food rate will slowly increase, thus giving local residents a chance to improve on their living standards.
In Taiwan, electricity is cheap and plentiful, but in the Solomon Islands, except for those living in its capitals, most residents still get by wood stoves for their cooking and heating needs. As part of its ongoing assistance to its diplomatic ally, Taiwan sent a team of technicians to introduce biogas technology into the nation's outlying islands. By turning pig excrement into a renewable energy, the team is not only lifting living standards in the Solomon Islands, but also helping safeguard the local environment.
Without access to modern technologies, humans learn to use the resources naturally available in nature, such as using these rocks to cook a meal. Once heated, the rocks become a natural heat source for cooking. Since modern technologies has yet to find its way into much of the Solomon Islands, and importing fuel is expensive, for the residents that live on the outlying islands, wood is still their #1 source of energy.
They have no access to gas or electricity, so they have to burn wood. But this creates pollution and also slowly destroys the environment.
In order to stop the strain on natural resources, the Taiwan technical team has introduced the use of biogas power generators. Unlike the large-scale generators found in Taiwan, these are small enough to be used by individual households.
Even if a household has around 10 or 20 pigs, we can still help them build a methane tank. Using the excrement of pigs, methane is produced, which then can be used as an energy source.
The source of the biogas generator is from pig excrement, which is collected in a sealed tank. There, the excrement will break down and create methane and CO2. Pressured, the gas will then easily travel through pipelines that connect the methane tank with stills located in households.
In Taiwan, pig excrement might be considered a serious form of environmental pollution, but here in Solomon Islands, with a little bit of work and investment, it is a natural resource.
Turning waste into a renewable resource, the Taiwan technical team is not only helping speed up the development of the Solomon Islands, but also showing the islanders on how to treasure and protect their environment for future generations.